I can think of. There's a fellow by the name of Dermot Kingston. He was a keen Labour activist, worked in the forestry school in Fredericton, and he became president of, just trying to remember the year, of LLNB. No, can't remember exactly the year, but he was there for about 4 years. And one of the things he did was, this was inspirational, single-handedly organized what he called a Walk for Literacy, which was to go over a period of 2 years, and went from Fredericton to Moncton. The first leg was from Fredericton to Miramichi, and then the second year was from Miramichi here to Moncton. And that raised a lot of support. Let's see. I remember the name of the politician who was the Minister of Indian Affairs at the time from Fredericton. No, can't remember. Anyway, he was able to organise, he's a Minister of Justice, that's right, and he was able to organise the RCMP to provide all the support on the route, right? So it was covered by a Mountie in the beginning and one at the end, and of course the gang of people just followed him in their interviews at every place along the stop. That I thought was really quite a brilliant stroke, and it worked well. We had support from all the labour organisations along the route as well. And it was a time when I think we had about at least 29 literacy councils, and on top of that was 17 that were in First Nations. So that was quite I think quite a mark. And then the result of that was the a publication of a report called Second Chance. I was involved in that along with many other organisations in the educational field that was doing research on literacy in New Brunswick, and report. What was the name of the report? It was called A Second Chance. Oh, I think one of the yeah, I've got a copy here. Was the production and publication of this book, right? And that was quite proud of that. And it was when I happened to know the president of the New Brunswick Writers Federation, and she said, "What can we do to help literacy in this province?" So after I'd bitten her arm off, I said, "Have I got a job for you?" So she rounded up, I think it was about 17 other writers, and got them to meet individually with people in the various learners and write their story and publish them in this. And at the time, Emily Gilles Chasson was Lieutenant Governor, and he was on board with this too. And it was interesting, you were talking about some kind of revolution for literacy. And I said to one meeting we had in Government House, I'm so fed up with the lack of support that we're getting, primarily through our communities. How about us forming a revolution and marching down every main street in the province, and you waving the flag? He says, "I'll be part of that." So there we are, you're on top of it, that's good. So yes, so that was one of them, and there are many others that people have all been responsible for, and I suppose it's the fact that they have maintained their interest too. And it hasn't been easy, as you well know. At a time when we did have financial support from what was the national organisation, Laubach Literacy Canada, in 2007, that dried up. So that was a really downer as far as I was concerned, because I was part of forming all of that. Anyway, it didn't work out in the end because of mismanagement. That's all it was, gross mismanagement. And at the time, there was a federal institution called the National Literacy Secretariat, and they said, "Smarten up or close down." So that was the alternative. And a little later, I think there was some money that had accumulated in their bank account, so we had a portion of that, quite a substantial portion, which kept us funded for another couple of years, I think. So Yeah, lots of different things have gone on, but I think the fact that we're still going.